Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. And I really appreciate you venturing it out with me for this Munch and Learn program. Certainly, without your help, this program would not have been possible. Okay, so here is the format. I know Elizabeth said you could type your questions in the chat, which will work. If not, I don't mind you asking questions throughout the sessions whenever you feel it is appropriate. I don't have a problem with that, whatever works. So first I'm going to go over the presentation that I have. And then what we are going to do is cover a few basic elements of Indian classical dance, which we are going to be doing together. And I will show you a performance. I'll do a performance, and I'll also show you a number of things that we use in the Indian dance, the costume, jewelry, and things like that. Okay, so can we do the presentation, Miss Elizabeth?
All right, there we go.
Okay, so can all of you see this presentation? Okay, so I'm presuming that you can, and I'm from India and I've been living in Memphis since 1996. I'm from southern part of India and I'm from a town called Bengaluru, which is in the southern part of India. Either way, I'm a southerner, if you will. So I've lived here long enough and I was born and raised there. So both ways, I'm a southerner. India is a large country similar to the United States. We are the second most populous country in the world. There are a number of languages in India, 14 officially recognized languages. And in addition, we have many other languages, which include the dialect, and almost every state has its own language. So we have 26 states and 8 union territories. So that makes it even harder. But we have kind of a divide between the South and the North, similar to the United States. Number of things vary in everything, I would say. A number of things like the customs, traditions, practices, languages, and so on and so forth. You may ask, how can you actually communicate if you have so many languages? That might be one of the questions. This is what we usually do. Up in the north, we have a language called Hindi, and down south, most of us speak English. So those are the two binding languages. Hindi is a national language, and English, of course, is the second official language. So I want to stand up and show you what I have on. These are some of the questions that have been asked of before. So that's the reason I'm trying to just get ahead of the questions and explain to you what this means. So the attire that I have is actually it's a long blouse like, and in the bottom it has hands. And this is just a shawl which we use for a number of reasons. I want you to know that India is a tropical country, so it gets hot. So usually people try to cover their head so that they don't get sunstrokes or anything else. Of course, during the winter months, it does get cold, so people use it to keep themselves warm as well. This is one of the types of costume. We have a number of the other ones. So this is how a sari looks. This is something that you may have seen. This is the underskirt. This is the blouse. And this is the 5.5 meters long fabric that is wore in different ways. So they are pretty colorful and handmade. Most of them have handmade work on it. We also try to match them with our bindi. This is called the beauty spot, the one that I have, because I have kind of pink and blue. I try to match it with that. So, um, how did I get here? I sat down on a plane and got here to Memphis. Do we learn English? Sure, we do learn English. So English is, like I mentioned, the second language in addition to what we already learn, other languages that we already learn. As far as the food is concerned, it is again a wide variety. Up north, a lot of wheat is grown. So, okay, sorry, I got distracted with this. Okay, so wheat is grown in the northern part of India, so a lot of wheat products are consumed more. In the southern part of India, we grow a lot of rice, so we eat a lot of variety of rice, vegetables, and other foods. As far as religion is concerned, we pretty much have every religion under the sun. Be it Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Jainism, Buddhism, and everything under the sun. Okay. On the right-hand side of this slide, we have a temple's picture. It is kind of like an inverted V. Can anybody tell me why we have this form of construction? You can type it in the chat, maybe. What does the cross mean to you? Okay, I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible and keep going. So one of the reasons why they had such tall structures a long time ago was back then there were no cell phones, TVs, automobiles, and things like that. People traveled from one location to the other, either on the horse's back or bullock carts, or just walked. So these structures indicated that there is some civilization in and around that place, which will let me as a traveler get off my horse or bullock cart or whatever, get some water to drink or whatever else is available, rest up, and then I'm going to move on to the next destination. That's the reason why they had this type of structures. And of course, we go to a place of worship for a number of reasons, not just to worship and learn about God, but also to socialize. We want to know how our community is doing. We want to know how our friends and families are doing. The picture in the bottom is of a duet. This is one of the pictures that we have here. I just wanted to show you how they look when they are fully dressed. I do have some attire that I'm going to show you of the Indian dance. Okay, next, please. So why do we have those structures? One of the main reasons is obviously because they are royal patronage. Long time ago, we had the kings who pretty much played a very important role in the development of these temples so that it becomes a monumental structure. Of course, it did provide employment, and the other things are listed here, like they are centers of learning, community, cultural showcase, and religion and spirituality. And of course, you can tell by looking at the previous picture that it is a huge structure. So it is one of the historic milestones that we have. Next, please. Here we have some pictures of the temples themselves. Again, some of these are from the southern part. The top one is from my state of Karnataka. As you can see, they are very old temples. They were constructed long time ago. And the bottom one is from the northern part of India called Khajuraho. That is, the name of the state is Madhya Pradesh. This was again built somewhere between 950 and 1050 AD. The structure itself are different, the way they are constructed. So you can tell the difference between the south and the north temples, southern and northern temples. Next, please. The next temple is an interesting one. As you can see in the bottom of this left side picture, there are wheels. They used to be able to move this temple. That's the specialty of this temple. This is from a place called Konark. It is kind of in the mid-southern state of India. The right side picture is called Golden Temple. This temple is, or actually was built between 17th and 18th century. This is a place where people from the latest religion worship. The latest religion in the world is called Sikhism, Sikhism. You may have seen people with a turban on their head, particularly the men. They belong to this religion, and this temple is called Golden Temple because it has a plate of gold all around it. That's the reason it is called a Golden Temple. Okay, next, please. Okay, this is a star-shaped temple, which is from my husband's hometown of Belur. As you can see, these are even older temples, which was built in 1117 Common Era. That is how old these temples are. You can see a lot of intricate carving all around the temple on the walls, on the outside wall of this temple. It is still a functioning temple. There are many temples in India which are not, where there are no services because of several reasons, but this is one such temple where people do go and worship, and services are provided by the authorities. Okay. Next, please. Yes. This is the intricacy of which the outside walls are carved. You can see there are lions, elephants, horses, and things like that. Each row has something different. There are close to about 1,094 of these carvings outside. Like each elephant is different from the other. Either his trunk is up or his trunk is down, his foot is up, his one foot is down, etc., etc. So that is how well the sculptor and his team has carved these temples on the outside wall. Next, please. So here is a tall column which has one empty spot. I'm going to answer the question, and I'm going to ask the question and answer myself, I guess. Can anyone guess why this spot was left empty? You can tell that there is a red mark, and then beneath it, there is a black empty spot. Any idea why this was left blank? Come on, we can do this. Okay, so the sculptor and his team challenged the whole world and said, if there is anybody who can do a better job than us, please step forward. Up until now, as you can see, like I mentioned, this was in 1117 Common Era. Since then, up until now, not a single soul has come forward, tried, or done anything with it. That's how well their work is and was. Next, please. Okay, so now we are on to the dances. Does the number 7 mean anything to you at all? This group is awfully quiet. Wow. Okay, so we have a number of things with the number 7. 7 continents, seven wonders of the world. Coincidentally, we have 7 classical dance forms of India. I'm going to go over them one at a time. So the right side picture, you can see how this young lady is touching her foot with her head. This is called Odissi. It is from the same state which had the wheels temple, the temple which had the wheels on the bottom. This is called Odissi. And the picture on the left is called Kathak. Katha means story. Kathak is to tell a story. So that's how they got it. That's how the name came. Okay. So let's try the next one, please. So like I mentioned, there is a clear divide between the north and the south. These 3 are the North Indian dances. This is called Manipuri. This is close to this state is from the foothills of Himalayas. The name of the state is Manipur and the dance is called Manipuri. So they are very passionate about deer dancing. That is why you see that. And on the right hand, this is also part of Manipuri, where they have very intricate type of costumes. You can see that her lower skirt is pretty stiff, but she has a top also on it. Next, please. We have 3 North Indian dances and 4 South Indian dance forms. The next one on the left-hand side is another picture where this young lady has a pot on her head and she has a plate underneath her foot. So she tries to move the plate with her feet, and with the pot on her head, she still tries to dance. This is from the southeastern state of Andhra, and the name of the dance is Kuchipudi. The right side one is which I'm specialized. It is called Bharata Natyam. This is perhaps one of the most taught, performed, and learned form of dances in the whole world. For whatever reason, this has been the one that is most popular. Next, please. So this is 4 and 5, the one that we just saw. The other 2 here are unique. I want you to note that on the top picture, the lady with a white gown is actually a boy. So the uniqueness about this state, which is from the southwestern state of Kerala, that's the name of the state, is this. On the top, Kathakali, the name of the dance form, only males are allowed to perform, learn, and teach this form of dance. In the bottom, Mohiniyattam, in this form of art, it is only males who are allowed to learn, teach, and perform. Boys are not allowed in the lower form of art, Mohiniyattam. Girls are not allowed in the Kathakali. That's what is unique about them. So in this particular picture, which is on the left-hand top, this is a boy. As you can tell, she is the queen.
Hello, you're not sounding good today. Excuse me, it's 12:30. Oh my
Juliana,
gosh.
Juliana, can you mute yourself, please?
Yes, I will.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. So as you can see, this picture has, in this picture, it is the queen. She is a he. So she has the bangles and the earrings and chain, necklace and things like that. So needless to say that it is very, very difficult for even anyone to be somebody who they are not. So this takes a lot of training, practice, and things like that. One other uniqueness also is that all the orchestra is very close to the artists on the stage. You can see this gentleman has a percussion, and on this end, you see the cymbals. There are others in the back or in the background, staying very close to the artist. That's the uniqueness about this form of art. Okay, next. In addition to these classical dance forms, Elizabeth, we can move to the next one. Thank you, ma'am. In addition to the classical dance forms, we have folk dance, which I'm sure many of you are familiar. Some of these are from different states. Of course, we have 26 states, but I just picked 3 of them. The bottom one is called Bhangra. It is a very colorful type of dance, which is many a times performed by men. The other 2 on the right-hand side, this is from my home state, which is a dance of after they have yield, that is harvest dance. That's why they have leaves around their waist. That's done by both male and female. This one is from the Himachal Pradesh, near the Himalayan mountain. We have a state that is from where this is. Okay, next, please. So there are 3 basic elements. That's as far as the classical dance forms and the folk dances are concerned. There are 3 basic elements that go to make up this form of dance. First is the hand gestures. We are just going to do a few of these and move on to the others. The first one is the hand gestures or the mudra. So we have a number of them. There are single hand gestures and 2 hand gestures. Okay, we are going to get to them one at a time. The next one is the posture. For example, if Miss Elizabeth is telling me something, I'm going to pay full attention, stand up straight and listen to her completely so that I don't miss any instructions or directions from her. So that is called Sama Bhanga. You can see that in the picture. If I'm just relaxing, I'm clearly not paying attention to anyone, so I'm just going to be relaxed, which is called Ati Bhanga. So there are several different postures. We are again going to just touch upon a few. And the third one is something which we all do all day long, every day. Emotions. There are 9 emotions in dance. You may be happy, you may be sad, you may be angry, you may be scared, you may be disgusted. You might exhibit some bravery or heroism, or you might just be serene with calm-mindedness. Okay, so there are 9 emotions. If we can please go back to the slide presentation, that would be helpful. Okay, so those are the 3 that I mentioned. We can try these out. For example, the most common one that we have, which is the first one in this picture, is Pataka. I want you to know that all of these is in Sanskrit, which is a language that is close to about 2000 years old. It is a dead language, and it is believed that all the Eastern languages originated from Sanskrit and all the Western languages originated from Latin, both of which are dead languages, which means we don't use them anymore. That's why the names are different. Okay, and of course it is almost 10,000 miles away. You're getting this from such a far off distance. Okay, so the most common one is this, which means a number of things. Pataka means stop, wait, me, you. For example, if President Biden were to go to, say, Japan, they both may not know each other's language. So what's going to happen is, as soon as the president gets off the Air Force One, he's going to be directed towards the red carpet. So they are just going to show, please head that way. There is the red carpet. This also means welcome when you turn your hand upside down. Okay. And then we have this one, which means a peacock. This is the long feather of the peacock The peacock is the proudest bird, so she's always moving her neck back and forth. So this means this is called Mayura. We do believe in recognizing the nature's elements around us. So this means the crescent moon. You can see that it is kind of arched. It can also mean elephant's ears. As huge as an elephant is, the smallest bug can really mess him up big time. So that's the reason he keeps flapping his ears back and forth. Okay, and this is a serpent. He coils, so this is a serpent. Okay, this is called sarpa. Okay, this is simha, any animal with antlers, like a deer or cattle, all of everything. So anything with antlers are called is called. This is called simhamukko. This is how we do that. Okay, like I said, there are. I'm sorry, no, I didn't say this. In this, with the single hand gesture, we have 28, and with the two hand gesture, we have 24 gestures. Okay, so I'm going to show you the two hand gestures. If somebody has done yoga, I'm sure you would have probably heard this namaste. This is the most common gesture that we do when we see each other. It means greetings. It also means to seek blessings from your teacher, God, parents, or just welcoming somebody also. This also means thank you. Okay. And this is a bird with his wings flying. This is a fish. He has pointed face. Okay. This is a fish. And this is a turtle. These are his front limbs and these are his back limbs. Okay. This is a turtle. That's his shell on top. Okay. So those are some of the two hand gestures that we have. Okay. Can we go back to the presentation, Miss Elizabeth? Can we go back to the presentation, Miss Elizabeth? Yeah, you're doing that. Okay, sorry. I didn't know if you heard me. Okay, so this is, like I mentioned, the single hand gesture and the two hand gesture. We have completed those. Okay, and the next one is the emotions that this is the posture that I already mentioned to you. Like I mentioned, the Samabhanga and Adibhanga, those are the two that I mentioned to you. There are a number of other postures also, but we are trying to I'm just trying to highlight and show you what I think is just needed or simple. Okay. All right. So the next one, like I mentioned, is the emotions. This is something that we go through every day in our lives. So love, for example, the love of a mother or a father to a child, or anything like that. So hasya, laughter. When you see something or hear something funny, you're going to laugh. Krodha, anger. When something doesn't go your way, you are going to be angry for sure. Karuna, compassion or empathy. Bhayanaka is fear. Bibhatsya is disgust. Adbhuta is surprise. If somebody tries to surprise you, you will be surprised. Veera is heroic, and Shantahita is serenity. Okay, so those are the three basic elements which goes to make up this form of dance. Next, please. I just want to show you, this is how that, first of all, this is learned by both men and women. I showed that to you in the first picture where you saw man and women's picture. This is how a young man looks when he is completely dressed. Okay, I just wanted, oh, there you go, thank you. Just wanted to show you that his jewelry and attire and everything. Okay. We can go to the next picture. The next picture has me in the center, and these are the two students of mine. This is how they look when they are fully dressed. Okay, with all the costume and jewelry. Okay. All right. Now Do we have any questions?
We do have one question somebody asked. Mitch asked, are these current, the clothing you showed, is that current regalia or historical?
It is traditional, so we use it every time we dance, even though there may be differences in the color and the type of material. Other than that, it is pretty much the same, I would say. Yeah, there could be style variation. Besides that, pretty much it is the same. Did I answer his question?
Well, I think what he was asking was, what you have, is it modern or is it historical clothing? Was it made, or is it modern made, or what is the clothing from 100 years ago?
Oh, okay. So thank you. I'm glad you clarified that. Okay, so for males, for boys, they used to use cotton material, which came in the form of a fabric, and they would wear it around their waist. But now it is all sewn, so it is modern. Everything that you saw in the picture is modern. Earlier, this sari that I showed you, the material is going to be different, was different, but they used that. They just wore it around themselves. They wrapped it around themselves with a lot of pins everywhere and things like that. But now it is so they don't have to do that anymore. Yes, it is modern, to answer the question. I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand what that meant. Okay.
That's no problem. Karen is asking, is the training for dance widespread in each state?
Yes, not as much as it used to be. Earlier, it was one of the forms of popular forms of dance, but not anymore, because there is a lot of Western influence over India now than there used to be.
Okay, great. Thank you. How about, do we want to get to the demonstration?
Oh, do we want to get to the demonstration? Yeah,
Yeah, and it'll give people more time to ask their questions at the end.
sure. Okay.
Okay. All right, just let me know when you're ready to go and I will start your music.
Do they want to dance with me or not? Or they just want
Well,
to-
I mean, people can dance with you at home if they would like to.
We can do some moves if you're all interested. I'm going to just show them to you real quick if that is something that you want to do. Well and good, if you feel that you want to do that too. Okay, so before we do that, I'm just going to show you a few of the jewelry that we use. So here is one. How does this go away? Okay, so this is, I want to show you the costume and jewelry that we use in dance. So, do that. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Like I showed you, we had to you had to get all of this around you, but instead now this is already sold, and all you do is it's like a pajama. You just slide into it, and it has the beautiful frills and all that. It is on a drawstring. Okay, that's the bottom part, and then the top part is like this. It has a blouse. It goes like this. And this is tied around your waist. Again on the drawstrings. That's how the whole thing looks. I have one, is the children's size also, because kids do start early. My youngest student is 4 years old. That's how it looks. And this has, we call it a back piece that comes around your waist and it just has hooks here like this. It just goes in through the loop. And this is the little blouse that they have. Okay. So this is the long necklace that goes around your neck. There are a number of jewelries that goes with it. This goes on your arm like this. Again, it's all tied with drawstrings. We have some bangles. And there is a short necklace and the long necklace that I just showed you. As I mentioned, we do want to recognize the nature's element. This is the sun, which is round. So it goes to my right because the sun rises in the east. And this is this has crescent moon, which goes on my left. So it has, you just insert some hair into it and then clasp it on like that. That's how it goes. And there is a belt that goes on your waist. And the most important thing with most of us dancers is the bells that goes on your ankles. Okay. Bells is the most important because that's what makes the sound and attracts people, and people come and watch you, support you, and educate you. Okay. The other thing I had mentioned is the henna. Henna comes in a cone like this. Henna is nothing but herbal washable tattoo. I did this yesterday, but it has kind of washed away a little bit. That's the color that you get when you do this. Somebody wants to learn some moves, so I'm going to show them. There is a thing in this chat. Okay, so whoever is interested can join. Whoever is not interested, you can just watch me. So I'm going to just show a few and then we can go from there. So the first thing you do is try to turn your feet completely to the side, and then you just do 1, 2, 1, 2. That's all about sound. So you do want your feet to make the sound. I'm going to do this one more time and move to the next one. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2. So the other thing that is important is you want to make sure that your back is straight. If not, you're going to be putting too much pressure on your knee and you're going to be tired and go out in no time. So that does help. The next one is going to be like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. The other one which most of my students enjoy doing is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And one other thing, yeah, I did mention about the bindi. This is called the bindi that I have. Okay. All right. I hope I satisfied this person who wanted to learn some moves. If we are okay, we are going to proceed further. Please
Yes.
let us know in your chat. Okay. Okay, so we are on to the performance. Is that correct, Ms. Elizabeth?
Yes. Yes. All right. Just let me know. Do you want me to start the music?
Yeah, please.
नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय मन्दाकिनी सलिलचन्दन चर्चिताय नन्दीश्वर प्रमथनाद महेश्वराय मन्दारमुख्य बहुपुष्प सुपूजिताय तस्मै मकाराय नमः शिवाय शिवाय गौरी वदनाब्जवृन्द सूर्याय दक्षध्वरनाशकाय नीलकण्ठाय ऋषभध्वजाय तस्मै शिखाराय नमः शिवाय वसिष्ठकुम्भो भवगौतमादि मुनीन्द्रदेवार्चित शेखराय चन्द्राकवैश्वानरलोचनाय तस्मै वगाराय नमः शिवाय यक्षस्वरूपाय जडाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै यकाराय नमः शिवाय पञ्चाक्षरमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते.
Did you all like it?
Yes, I think everybody loved it.
Okay.
Yes, we are getting much love for that. Thank you so much. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So maybe next time we'll do it in person so we can do the bindi. I can give them away. They come in different forms and shapes and sizes. Some of them that you can see, the colors are different. Like I mentioned, we try to match them with our clothes. We try to coordinate them with our clothes. And this is some of them. So maybe next time we'll try and do it in person.
Okay. So we do have another question from Patricia.
Sure.
Are all the costumes made in India?
Yes, they are, but there is a website here from which you can buy. I think it's called Indian Costumes and Jewelry, and then you go to the tab, the menu item on the, not menu, what is it called? It's just a listing where it says dance, costume, and jewelry, and things like that.
Okay, thank you. Do all the different the people from the different states who are in Memphis, do they all attend the temple here outside of Memphis? Or are there different temples?
There are different temples, and not everybody is a Hindu. There are Christians, there are Muslims. They have their own mosques. They have their own churches. There are 3 temples in the Memphis area. One is off of Perkins and American Way. Then there is one more on Apeling in Cordova, and the one in Eads is the main one. So depending on which state they are from, they attend that. The one in Cordova, the Apeling one is the Golden Temple I showed you. They belong to that Gurudwara, that's what it is called. And the one on, I believe it's called Thousand Oaks, that is from the state of Gujarat. That is from where our Prime Minister is, the same state from where he, Prime Minister Modi. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Karen asked, could you tell us a little about the music and the instruments used?
Okay, so the music, this particular one is a traditional one. There's one more which is a harvest dance that has different types of instruments as opposed to this. This is more in the traditional style of music. We have usually the percussion called the mridangam. We have violin, we have flute. We have another instrument similar to guitar, which is called the veena. And yeah, those are the main ones that we have. We have another one which is kind of an inverted pot-like, which is called the, it's not ghatam, that is what it is called, ghatam. That's a typical Indian instrument.
Okay, I actually have a question. Back to the presentation you gave, and those really the temple with the really intricate carvings. There was a line of what showed what looked like 3 gods. Do you, by any chance, happen to know which ones those were? By any chance?
So there are, I think it is the Trinity. I'm gonna sit down. Just give me one.
Yes. Yeah. Please sit down.
It is the Trinity, I believe. So there are 3 main gods in Hinduism. One is the creator, which is called the Brahma, and then the second one is the preserver, who is Vishnu. The third one is the disruptor. So I think that is what it was there, as I remember. So it is the Trinity of gods. There are several gods in India, of course, so.
Okay, thank you so much, actually. Does anybody have any other questions for Jay? Okay. All right, well, I guess it does, so just give it 1 second to see if anybody has any more questions.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But in the meantime, thank you so much, Jay, for doing this for us. And I know it's not easy to do these things virtually, but thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us. I'm really am very hopeful that we can have you back in person. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for attending, everyone. Next week's program is having a little bit of a lineup change. It will be a Gardens Munch and Learn, and it will be in person in the auditorium with Dale Skaggs, our own Director of Horticulture. If you aren't currently a Dixon member, we invite you to renew or join. We'd be grateful to add your name to the list of members who help make the Dixon the special place it is. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care. And again, thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for your time and your questions. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, I do look forward to doing this in person.